And we are live.
We are live.
Good afternoon, Miss Nancy.
Good afternoon, Miss Heather.
And good evening, good afternoon, good day to Miss Flowing. Hello, Carmela, my dear. And anybody watching on playback. We hope that you had a nice weekend. And I know it was hot in a lot of areas. So
Yes,
hope everybody fared well. And I know somebody who had a wonderful weekend.
me. I had
and
a wonderful weekend with Ginger Faye. We had the best time. We really did.
And if you haven't seen and didn't catch the show from Friday night, um, even if it's just a few minutes, it was wonderful to see these two ladies together
I
and
don't know
just
when I
having
laughed so
fun.
hard. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It
And
was a
of course,
great,
we
great
were
show.
doing these fairy sweary readings. And so I had my deck out that
Very
has the,
sweary.
sweary words in it.
But Miss Nancy couldn't really say any bad word because she was just like, "Oh, I said a
Oh, yeah. Oh,
bad word."
I said them. Brace yourself. Here it comes.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, and Agador had a great time. He got to fly around and
Yes, yes. I didn't have the dogs in here and I had the door closed. So and I was surprised that he came out because we started at 9 o'clock and that's late for that bird.
yeah, he was like, "Ooh, we're having a party tonight."
Yes. And
Oh,
today's Ginger's birthday.
today's Ginger. Oh, I'll have to make sure I text her and send her
Yeah,
a
I
birthday cake.
sent her a message and sang to her, which is bless her heart,
Yeah.
her poor ears.
So happy birthday, Ginger Faye! And if anybody can take some time, maybe after or during the show that's in chat, if you're familiar with Ginger, Ginger Faye's Divine Musings and Tarot, run over to her channel or wish her a happy birthday. That would be wonderful. And there we go. Thank you, Carmela. Birthday cakes and fairies for
Yeah.
Ginger. And
Yes.
hello, Karen, my dear. Good to see you. Um, Nancy and I know that there are several shows going on, so we're going to be having people coming in. So Nancy and I were talking backstage, and we thought that before we go live, her and I usually do our thing, to get grounded and get centered. I light my Palo Santo, and I'm sure Nancy, says some prayers or affirmations to her guides, and but we thought, when we start the show, maybe it would be a nice prayer or affirmation or something that we can
Mhm.
say for people coming into chat to just kind of get us all, you know, grounded and
Yeah.
centered before the show.
Yeah.
And so Nancy has that printed out. We'll just give it a few more moments. Hello, JR. Good to see you,
And
my
what I'll
dear.
do is, if I'm going to be reading it afterwards, I will hold it up if any of you want to do a screenshot, because I think when I read this and take it to heart, um, it gets me ready to interact with my guides and my angels and my ancestors. And I think you have to be in the right head and heart space
Hmm.
um, to get messages. You can't just say, like, say something to me.
Yeah. All right. Chop, chop. But yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. That's why I love my Palo Santo. I burn that, and just the
Hmm.
quick scent of it gets me grounded, gets me,
Oh, look what
centered.
Ginger Faye, one of the things she brought me.
Oh, how beautiful. I
Seashell on my
remember that
heart. Isn't it gorgeous?
orange
I
selenite.
just love it.
And there's Allison. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
Allison, are you doing the Mystic Four tonight? Every Monday, Gerald goes on at 7 with the Mystic Four, which is Allison, Gerald, Val, and Cleo. So be sure to run over there and say hi to my girl
Yeah.
and get some readings. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And people were wondering, because Allison wasn't able to make it Friday, and it was just the heat. Michigan was really hit, especially, we talked this morning between the lakes, and sometimes that compounds the humidity and the heat. So nobody wants to read or be present when, they're not feeling well, or they're not in their proper state of being grounded, like we're talking about. you know
Mm-hmm.
and that's beautiful. I just love
Um,
that. So,
I'm trying
and
to think of
hello,
the name of.
Fatima.
We went to this little crystal store. It's called Starseed, and the person was just absolutely fascinating. But this is Damberite. Damberite. I don't know if this is
There's one
Damberite.
called, oh no, that's,
What
oh
is
damn, you're right, yeah.
Damberite? And I had one that was like this, and she had a bowl full of these, and Ginger took them all out, and she was looking for one
Hey, Chucky.
that had a perfect point.
Hmm.
And
That's beautiful.
beautiful facets. And then I found too, she said she felt that the points made them more powerful, you know. And what
This
she does
energy.
is she puts these on top of her decks that she has on her altar for that she, works with every day. And so I thought, well, I wanted to do that, but the lady she was so nice. But the interesting thing is the little town that's next to where it's about 10 minutes away from me on the bypass. It's called Clyde, North Carolina. And on the main street there is this little house that she is, got the sign out, Starseed. And I think she's from New York City. But anyway, she moved here during the pandemic, and she said she really hasn't gotten very much support from the community. She's just considered as the witch on the corner.
Oh
So
yeah,
see, this
that
is
kind of
what
BS.
it's like where I am now. Asheville is more open,
Hmm.
and they're crystal shops, but a lot of people here are really confused by the metaphysical, and they
Hmm.
they perceive it as being evil,
Yeah.
but you know
Allison says, "Yeah, I'm the witch on the corner too, but that's a good thing."
yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
whenever your
I
foot
mean, I
feels
think
down,
so. I said, oh
it's
my
a good
goodness,
thing.
but this woman, she has so much knowledge, and she does
Hmm.
Reiki, and she does meditations, and she has classes and everything. So I was really
That's
happy to
nice.
have found her.
So, well, we have quite a few people popping in. So,
Yeah.
did you want to start with
Yeah, that would be great. Now, I also read this morning. Gerald and Jane wanted me to do it when I told them about it, and this is just something to get you in the right heart space. And as we do messages, you know, if you're doing this too, and you ask for a message, it connects us. So it says, I call upon my higher power and ask to be surrounded by divine light with my team of guides, angels, and ancestors who can most support me now. Surround me fully and completely with divine white light. I ask that the white light fill and surround me, completely cleansing and purifying my mind, body, and spirit. Protect me, allowing the pure divine guidance of my higher power, guides, and angels and ancestors to flow through and yet block out any and all negativity, lower vibrational energy, or entities. I ask that the divine white light fill my home, raising the vibration and cleansing out any and all negativity. I ask that the divine white light clearly illuminate my highest possible path before me. Help me to see the opportunities, to witness the blessings, and to experience the miracles, joy, and true fulfillment that are all available to me on my path. And here, let me see. I don't know if you can see it here. Wait a minute. Let me see. I don't know if you, whoops, excuse me. I don't know if you can do a screenshot of this.
I know what we can do, Nancy, after the show. I'll use the snapshot that you sent me. And what
Okay.
I'll do is I'll put it on my community tab.
Oh, that'll be great.
And
Yeah.
everybody, and
And then
we'll make
that
sure
way
that
you can
author
have it
anonymous.
if they so choose. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful, Heather.
Just remind me.
There.
Let's see. Karen is driving, so you can't type. Yes, please don't type, my dear. And somebody, so there's blueberry emojis now.
Ooh.
So Flowing used blueberry. Oh, it's always so exciting when there's a new emoji that comes out. I love it, but that is
I just
absolutely
wish I could
beautiful.
figure out how to do this.
I
Like
know
Gerald
not
was saying
everybody can
to
do it. Nope, it's like certain phones or certain
do.
something.
Well, I have an iPhone 14, and I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure
She's like,
what.
"Yay, I caught alive! Hello, my dear." So, but yeah, Allison was talking to one, and she went like that. She just really quick. I think she was shuffling or something because the way her thumbs are. And next, all of a sudden, you see the speaker thumb. And she's like, "What the hell is that?" She goes,
Yes.
"How did I do that?" So I guess it's just really different from. And Fatima says, "Excuse me, I'm just in such a good mood that if I'm a little giggly, just say." Heather, yes, Miss Nancy, calm down. Okay. I just had some really good. Yes, I'm in a fruity mood too, Flowy, Carmela, most definitely. And Fatima says I had a reading this morning from Nancy, Gerald, and Jane.
Yes.
Very nice.
I think we did 8 readings altogether.
Very nice.
On an hour, yeah.
So Nancy was like, "Well, Heather, what are we going to talk about today?" I'm not sure. So we were just talking, and then she mentioned that she was on with Gerald, and then went ahead and said that Gerald did an interview with the deck creator of the Hecate Oracle, and Nancy started to talk about keys and things. I said, "Nancy, that's who we're supposed to talk about. It seems like each week a different goddess comes into our periphery, and I think that's them coming through and wanting us to share about them that particular week. The one week it was Caradwin when you started working with Caradwin, and then for me it was there was, I think, Diana, and there was also the Morgan, and then last week we had Kristen come on and talk about Freya and air, and so it just seemed to flow right into okay, I think it's Hecate this week. And Nancy, did you want to go ahead and kind of share what you had?
I have this new deck that's come out. It's called Chris Butler was the illustrator, and Ken Payne is the man who worships Hecate, and she has been a pivotal goddess in his life, his whole life, even when he was very, very young. And his mother had a deck, and one of the cards had Hecate on it, and he would just beg her for that card, when he was young. And finally, when he was grown, she gave it to him. But in the introduction, this is what he says about her. And he says, Hecate is a very complex, misunderstood, and even feared goddess. She is the torchbearer, the cosmic world soul, the guide and companion, mistress of the restless dead, who rules over heaven, earth, and sea, and the key bearer who stands at the crossroads of life, death, and rebirth. A vast ranging deity who has adapted to many cultures and spanned the centuries. Whether she has made herself known to you or you are actively and humbly seeking her guidance, this particular oracle has been designed to connect the user with her myriad forms and energies, as well as those other divine and spiritual entities that she so readily interacts with. And the key, if you notice, I mean, I ordered this. This is supposed to be her, like her key, and it has, she's the goddess of the crossroads, and this is what he has on. Well, it's on the.
I think that's her sigil. Is it a sigil or just
her sigil? It's on the back of the cards in his deck. Mm-hmm. So I thought it helps me when I have something that is associated with the goddess. It just helps me feel like I'm closer to her, if that makes sense.
That beautiful bow that you bought when you started working with Carradine, that was,
Yeah,
it just came right, it just came right to you,
yeah.
so you know that it was a beautiful serendipitous sign, from spirit. And that is a beautiful key. I've always loved keys, and I've always wanted to collect them, but just never really. And the ones that I have had have disappeared over the years. So maybe I, wasn't meant to collect
I
them,
have
but like I
taken
need
to
more things.
collecting some old
I
ones.
said, and Nancy looks like she's a warden. I was
I
like,
know,
Nancy.
and look at this. I put this on it. It's a little bone hand,
Oh, wow.
but this is a monastery key.
Oh my God, that's cool. How'd you get that? And hello, Scott. He's saying hi to
Oh,
you.
hey Scott. Oh, and Jackie Jacaranda is here.
Yep.
I found it. They have antique keys on eBay, and
Ooh, okay.
and then there's some that are not antique. Like this. This key has dream on it, and I just did. And you know what? Jane, the seeker, does is she sleeps. She has a keychain with old keys on it that she sleeps with, so that when she travels, when she's sleeping, she can unlock portals.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was
That's
really
pretty
neat.
cool.
And I thought, well, that's just like another tool to help you as you prepare to communicate. And I like that.
Me too. So I went and I checked to see if she was represented in the Calabrian Re Goddess Oracle. And while you were reading on her, I brought up the artwork that Jenna Della Gritalia did. And it's a little hard to see on. There's no there's no snakes, which I'm grateful for, but
It makes me happy.
it's still, even though it's not a true with her symbols on it, it is still a beautiful card. I absolutely love it. It's a ray. Well, I don't know. Sometimes when you look at the artwork, sometimes your mind can kind of go into the image, and sometimes you get kind of like a spiritual pareidolia, where
Mm-hmm.
you will see things that are meant kind of like, as a message, as a form of divination, scrying. So, looking at that, I automatically thought I saw an owl, and I'm like, oh, that's not an owl, but at first, look,
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh my goodness, that looks like an owl. So what she wrote about Hecate is that, let's see, so she talks about the empowerment message and the alignment message, and I'll just go ahead and just share the empowerment message for
Okay.
Hecate. And I apologize if a noisy car goes by and I don't get to my mouse in time to mute. So, you are standing in the liminal spaces between what was and what will be, who you have been and who you are becoming. The Greek goddess of crossroads and the in between, Hecate, or Hecate, her name has been pronounced that way as well, welcomes you to her domain and reminds you that neither place is your home. You're being tasked to carefully choose the direction of your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions. Now is not the time for hasty action or stubbornness, but a fierce self inventory. Bless the part, no, bless the past for what it has provided and release all attachments to the stories of what was. Oh my God, I'm getting chills reading this. Now
Mm-hmm.
is the time to understand the responsibilities required of you as you move forward into a new version of yourself that is yet unformed. Who do you want to become? What kind of life are you prepared to live? And how will you wisely yield your power to co create a new world beneficial for others, not just yourself? You have the magic of Hecate pulsing through you and calling to you to answer. Say yes and step into the unknown to discover what is not yet manifest. As soon as you do, the goddess Hecate will bring her eternal torch to light your way.
That's beautiful.
That is a beautiful write up. I like that very much. So I'll just keep her right here, saying that that's who we are talking about today.
Okay.
There on my So, alrighty, making sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see, Aries Girl. I'm reading Hecate, Goddess of Witches right now by Courtney
Mm.
Weber. It's good. All right. Well, it's interesting how we're talking about Hecate today, and that's one of the books that you're reading. And Carmela, good questions to think about. Yes, that's why I like a lot of these books today are starting to include prompts, so that we just don't go get an answer and then feel like we don't have any work to do. There's actual prompts to write to really explore and help put also your your co-creation of your future. You're working with yourself. You're taking responsibility. You're taking a hold of the reins. And yes,
Mm.
spirit can guide you, but they can't do everything for you. So I love how prompts nowadays um, offer that, so that we can actually kind of look into and maybe delve a little deeper. And as I was getting ready, I told Nancy I was like just shuffling some cards, and a couple I thought would be kind of a nice little kickstart that I wanted to share. Um, as y'all know, I got a new deck, and it's an AI deck. It's called the Artist Decoded. It's a very fascinating read. I mean, look how thick this book is.
Mm.
And and I also pulled from another Colette deck. Oh, I thought I had the box right here. I do have the box. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And I pulled, so from the AI, well, the Artist Decoded, I have the Judgment card. And
Mm.
from the other one, I have the Gatherer. And looking at the initial, just two cards next to each other, um, Judgment is about spiritual awakening. Yes, but when I'm looking at these two cards next to each other and just going by the words and the images, to be sure that we don't take on self imposed judgments or judgments from others, that sometimes we judge ourselves, sometimes more harshly than we do others. And to make sure that what we are gathering into our bounty, onto our table that we feast upon, is only things that bring more abundance to ourselves, to our souls, what makes us happy. I love the feathers too. She's holding even a beautiful, possibly a blue jay feather, but the feathers of, communicating with, gathering the knowledge of nature, gathering knowledge of yourself, and letting go of any preconceived judgments or ideas about oneself or others, and just really only gathering in around you the those thoughts and people that best support you and make your life bountiful. And
Mm.
so that's what I have with those two cards. And hello, Garnet. Garnet was sharing some poetry with us last
Oh, yes.
night.
Hey,
And
Gar.
Kristen Louise is here again. Can't stay long, but want to say hi. Oh,
Oh,
stop by for a spell. Ooh, I like that. Alrighty. Jackie, you're up late. Not Jackie Jacaranda, but Jackie's Crystal Moon.
ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
everybody, you should have seen the most adorable outfit Jackie had for a wedding. I know I'm digressing a little bit, but she did a video on her channel. Oh my God, this dress was absolutely adorable. I mean, the
Oh,
colors, everything were beautiful. And then she had these beautiful, like, hot pink little pumps to go with them. I mean, she looked fab.
oh,
It was like a 50s style pleated dress, and it was just tailor. It was like tailor made to her. She was just absolutely beautiful. Loved it. So I hope you had a fabulous time at the wedding. Um, this weekend. Everybody's saying hello to each other, and Allison. There are so very many animals associated with her: black lamb, bull, dog, dragon, goat, horse, lion, owl, and your favorite Heather, serpent. Ha ha ha.
I was looking at this deck that I have, the Goddess Oracle.
I used to have that.
And this is a picture of her with her three-headed dogs.
Oh, yeah. Let me put you on the.
Whoop.
I'm
And
trying to put you on the big screen here, and I'm. Wait a
okay.
minute. Hold on.
Whoop.
There we go.
There we go. Here she is with her three-headed dog. And there's a poem in here, and it's called The Crossroads. She's the goddess of the crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, I sit in the blackness of the dark moon night with my hounds at the crossroads, where three roads converge at the crossroads. The place of choice, all paths lead to the crossroads, and all are desirable, but only one can you travel. Only one can you choose. Choice creates endings, and all beginnings come from endings at the crossroads. Which one will you choose? Which one way will you go? Which? Though the choice is yours, there's a secret I'll share. The way to choose is to enter the void. The way to choose is to let die. And the way to choose is to fly free.
Wow.
So,
Garnet
there's
put in
a
Turk
whole
pipe.
bunch of information on her. There's three pages. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she's
I
got
had
a
that
lot.
deck for a while, but then I had a friend that at the time who just absolutely loved the artwork, and I wasn't really resonating with it as much as I
The
used
artwork
to,
is
so I
different.
gave it to her.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the artwork is different.
Her name is Jana, I believe, if I remember correctly. Jhana, Jana.
I
But that
was
was
going
one of the
to
first
show you
goddess
the
oracles I've ever seen. I had ever seen.
here's I was looking for the three-headed dog in this deck, the Hecatean Path, because they're pretty fierce looking. You know,
Allison, have you heard of this deck? Seeing that you're reading on
the
Hecate, I don't
Hecatean Path.
the Hecatean path. I'm not sure if that would be something you'd be interested in, but
I
let me
got it.
know and I can
I
get the
got it.
information.
It's on Amazon, and
Okay.
it's the real deck. You know, I think it's a Llewellyn deck.
Mhm.
Well, here is the Black Hound, and it's for loyalty.
Oh wow.
But there's a three-headed. Because when I saw it, I was like, "Whoa!" And we won't go into the snakes, Heather. Oh, here it is.
I can
The
click.
card of obstacles.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they look pretty fierce to me. I don't know.
Well, they can be seen. Like people always were afraid of gargoyles. People think that gargoyles are evil and stuff, but they were made to look scary. They weren't an evil creation or construct, but it was to scare away evil. So this is where a lot of who wrote what and the misinterpretation or the miseducation, of like good example. And this just jumped right into my head when I worked at Crystal Magic. They had a large Buddha in the front window. Now, this Buddha had a swastika on its belly. And what people didn't realize is that the swastika was a sacred spiritual symbol of the Buddha who was, teaching a peace of love and kindness. And it was, of course, taken and misrepresented by, you know, the Nazi party. And so when people who weren't educated with that and didn't know, we actually would have sometimes people come into the store and say, "What the hell is that?" Kind of like, why do you have, and then we would have to explain history and explain, and then we would pull out the symbol books and show that, see that this is so, um, a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings, to a lot of ancient, symbols that have just been really, well, I don't want to use that word, but just really misogynized, basically. Um, they are fierce protectors, yeah. Aw, Jackie says, "Ye look beautiful, girls." Aw.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Jackie, I hope you're feeling well. Usually you're not up this late unless you're feeling a little under the weather. Um, but if you're feeling well, awesome. You're just up late tonight, and it's good to see you. And girl, we need to talk when we can. Email me when you're free so that we can talk about our next investigation. Alrighty, I have so far two people. I hope I didn't miss anybody who asked.
You know who we need to talk about? Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Do we have somebody on next week?
No, we don't.
I was thinking about, you know, the um, white buffalo woman. Because when I'm going to show them this picture
I bet.
when
Mm, I think I know what you're going to show.
yeah, when I'm trying to, oh, here it is. When let me make it bigger. Ginger Faye was here. We went to a resale place that has like upscale furniture, and when I saw this, because Heather always lights up when she sees the card Buffalo Calf Woman. I mean, and I saw this and I said, "Oh, hold it up, Ginger. I got to send that to Heather," you know. And I thought, "Oh, wow, I'd like to get that for her, and I'd like to wrap it up and send it to her, you know, as a surprise." Until I saw that it was $250.
No, that's okay.
But I thought, "Oh gosh, that's beautiful."
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's made out of, I guess, I don't know, different kinds of furs. But look at the eye on it. It looks real.
And hello, three shifting veils. I'm just looking to see if she included. Yes, she did. So let me see if I can find her. Yes, because it's so interesting that you mentioned that because I was drawn to. I just been really drawn to start connecting again with whether ancestry.com says they didn't see anything. I still feel I have relatives, no matter how far in the past. I do have native ancestry within this lifetime, and I know in past lifetimes. And I just keep every time I get, I stray a little too far. And when I mean stray, it's like when I kind of get my focuses more away from where I don't include or I don't bring in into my spiritual practice things of the native peoples in this area, indigenous people. I feel that tug, that pull back, saying, "Okay, let's remember," and so I feel like I'm getting drawn back, and I don't know if I have. Let's see. Wait a minute. Where's the deck that I just had with the goddesses? Well, I guess maybe not right now.
Mm.
So I don't want to hold. Oh, they're right there, Heather. And hello, three shifting. Well, the first one. Well, the one underneath, Spider Woman. This is one of my favorites. I love Spider
Oh,
Woman
yeah.
co-creation. She's beautiful. And I know there's some controversy about, oh, their pictures taken off of the internet and they all look like supermodels. I don't care. If I resonate, like this is beautiful too. This is Uzume. Isn't
Mhm.
I mean, I just if yeah, Mott, you know, um if I feel something. Somebody just mentioned, I think it was flowing or someone mentioned Isis. So there's Isis. In the news, a white buffalo was born. Yes, thank you,
Mhm.
Garnet, for reminding me. I think it was, I think Junosphere who might have posted on her community tab. But in this book, in this deck, this is White Buffalo Calf Woman, and she's the bringer of the sacred pipe, the uniting of the people, or trying to unite of the people to bring
Mhm.
peace. And one piece represents the feminine, one piece it represents the masculine, and bring them together in unity as one. So but yeah, so maybe next week. I wonder if Diana ever works with White Buffalo Calf Woman. I'll have to see, but yes, I would, Nancy.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We didn't do a White Buffalo reading, Peace Mama. We were just talking about Hecate.
We're talking about maybe next week
Mm-hmm.
exploring. white buffalo calf woman. Would everybody like
I would
that?
love. I know I would. And then we can bring in the news of the white buffalo. And I actually got to when we were in Flagstaff, part of the sanctuary that had the buffaloes that had previously had born some white ones that eventually ended up turning brown, but the people had moved to Flagstaff, and I got to see some of them. And at one point, I was able to collect some a fur from the fence. That was outside of the fence. I had asked if I could please be blessed with, and that was a while back in moving. Unfortunately, it was lost, but um,
Mm.
yes, it's a very good omen. Hopefully, because between the Hopi prophecy of the blue star and things coming and changing, bringing destruction. But a lot of people think, when you say destruction, though, it's like a tower moment. Things have to be
Mm.
shaken up. Things have to fall apart before a new era, a new spiritual, beginning starts. And a lot of people hope that this is kind of like an overnight thing, and it's going to take some time. But I think we have a lot of young people, young people, we have a lot of children being born. They're going to help be able to carry, the next generations, hopefully, into a um, more peaceful future, purification. Yes. And Peace Mama says, I would love that. Wonderful. Um, Keep hope alive for change. Yeah, because, when you think about it, and I'm going to try not to go off too much on a tangent here, but you look on TV, you look in your phones, all you see in mainstream media is, you know, all the bad stuff that's going on, all the hatred, all the violence, but you never see the good things that happen, and this destroys hope. And when you destroy a person's spirit, even and especially on a collective level, that makes it easier for those from a darker perspective to be able to, take control more, manipulate, and dominate. And when we remember, like Carmela is saying, to have hope, to keep hope alive, um, and then when we spread that out and it ripples, that creates a beautiful shield, a beautiful wave that helps fight against the negativity. It's never all going to go away, unfortunately, because you know it seems that the universe needs balance, you know. But hopefully, we can at some point bring the balance up a little bit more, where the love and the compassion, the empathy, and more understanding, for other people can
Mm-hmm.
come forward. And so, I hope everyone didn't mind me kind of going. It just felt like that was something I needed to say. So.
Huh.
Um, So, everybody who is here, if you would like a divine feminine reading, please type me in all caps. Nancy and I have two starred. We have Karen Johnson and T. Lynn. And we just ask that you please stay in the chat for your reading. Um, it helps Nancy and I be able to get feedback from you. And it's respectful to the readers as well. So we appreciate that. So, Three Shifting Veils. I love that name. You are
Ooh,
down.
yeah.
So, Karen, I believe you were the first one to ask. Oh, and I love the butterflies because I still connect with her from time to time, but um, the butterfly woman, she's been a part of my life since the 90s, on and off. She flies in and she flies out when needed. So, I love the butterflies in that. So, alrighty, what deck am I going to think I can pull? What decks are you using today, Nancy? Are you using
Well,
this
I
the
have the Priestess of Light and the Wild Woman Rising, and
Oh, I
my
love that deck.
deck, and I've got Mother Mary and Kuan Yin, and I've also got I pulled out Wisdom of the House of Night.
Yes, I have that deck too.
Yeah, I
That's
just
fun. That's a beautiful deck.
But I think what I'm going to do for everybody is I'm going to pull for everybody a card out of this deck. and we can kind of explore what it says together. Because I honestly, I am waiting for him to come out with a comprehensive guidebook. There's this little guidebook, but it's in 4 different languages, and so there's not much information on each card. And I mean, the cards are just rich with all this symbolism, and I want to know more about it.
Sounds like a Scarabeo deck if there's like 4 different languages in it. Yep. Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to be reading a little bit from my book because Colette puts a lot of information and she has multiple authors.
I'll have to do that with the Hecate because and we're who are we reading for?
We are reading for Karen Johnson.
Karen, okay.
No relation, but you never know, Karen. My last name is Johnson, so you just never know. So, do I need to pull another card? Nope. Okay. I'm just feeling like I'm being drawn to these 2 decks. So I have my Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, and I have my new AI deck that I just got. I absolutely love this, except that the cards are a little too big, thick, and there's a bit of a coating on them, which makes it kind of hard to shuffle. They stick a little, so I really am going to have to work these cards out the next few days, but I'm just so very happy with the artwork, and makes me want to pick up my paintbrush, which is what they want you to do. They want you to, when this is because one of the main persons that created is also a digital and fine artist himself. He wanted to embrace working with the lithography. That's the term that's going with AI generated, and this was something that was a corporation of his personal art along with working with the new AI technology. And he wants people to start tapping into their creativity. And a lot of the cards were designed because it includes an imagine section to the cards. And the imagine, he presents different examples of how to, maybe they're like prompts to write a poetry, to do a painting, to do a journal writing. So it's a way also to kind of stimulate your creativity, kind of like in the Artist Way book from back in the day. And hello, Odelia. I knew that you were going to be around at some point, if your sister was in chat. So Nancy, are you all set, or do you?
I am. And Heather, close your eyes because the
it's all
the snake came out of the deck first. I'm going to read the card first, Karen.
Are powerful,
and it is the Holy Damien, and it says it is the card of protection. And now you listen to this, Heather, too, because this snake is a good snake. It says it's from the lower realm, and it's the card of protection, the symbol of protection. This serpent emissary of the goddess dwells in the earthly realms and works through chthonic channels. Focused on protection, it will whisper warnings and strike at those things attempting to harm you. It scouts the road ahead and ensures your footing is true. While concerned with safety and defense, it will act against recklessness and it is idiocy. And the other 2 cards that I got for you, Karen, this one is enter the temple of your truth and learn to value it. I think this has to do with meditation.
That's beautiful.
Quiet reflection. And the next one is guard the inner child. And these two cards also show the need of protection while you're doing this. And so to have an ally that is going ahead of you to protect you and to guide your way and to keep you safe, that's a beautiful thing. I love that for you, Karen.
And Karen said, I started doing daily protection. I felt that I needed it. So you picked up on that. She says, lovely, Nancy.
Yeah.
So Karen, I have for you for my mystical shaman, I have the hunter. Let me move my house out of the way there. And it's hard to say too, but this card has so many layered images on it. We have the mother bear, we have, the deer, we have the antlers, we have we have fur and kin, and feather. I mean, it's just beautiful, and it talks about the necessity of hunting, the the respect that was given, originally by the early people when hunting for their food. Nothing was to be wasted. It wasn't for trophy. It wasn't for pleasure. It wasn't for, out of boredom. It was a spiritual agreement between, the hunter and the animal for the people to be able to survive. So for me, the invitation to this card is to rely on your own skills to traverse the thick forest you are in to reach your destination. You need to follow the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is already prepared and being offered to you. Do not follow the maps drawn by others, as they will not lead you true. Instead, become the map maker. Find your internal compass and use all your senses, including your common sense. So you are the hunter, um, of your own life, of your own purpose, of your own goals and dreams, not anybody else's paths. You find yours. And this also reflects back to when we had Diana Bowles on here and she was talking about the goddess Ellen, or Ellen of the Trod, or Ellen of the Ways. And she, because up in Finland, the female reindeer also have antlers. And so they were taught how to track, how to find, their kind so that humans could survive. And so, this is beautiful. I mean, all the cards are beautiful. So it's staying on your path. Um, Keep hunting, keep searching, keep being true to who you are. And then the card that I have to go along with it from my AI, from my Artist Decoded, is very interesting that we're talking about keys today. I got the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is about walking out of self imprisoned, mindsets, victimhood. It's about introspection as well. And this goes right with the hunter, because when you go hunting for the truth of who you are, all those swords just get out of your way because you're focusing on yourself. Um, you're the one that can get yourself unstuck. And what I said about the keys is this is called, the key word for this is the liberation key. So this is the card of liberation. And I'm not going to read all of it, but under the section they give you for, oops, imagine creative ways. And this is something I think a lot of us, well, all of our readings are collective. But here it says, photo montage is an artistic technique in which images from various sources are combined to create a single composition. With this technique in mind, gather a collection of source materials that you're comfortable cutting into pieces, such as personal photos or of babies, favorite memories, family, magazines, or pages from old books. And when you have the items, take time to reflect on the images, what they represent to you, what they feel to you, and you put them into a arrangement, into a collage. So kind of like a visualization board. So this is what's amazing about this book. So by doing that, looking at that, resonating with that, letting that lead you out of the prison, the swords, helping you hunt and find truly, who you truly are. And that's what I have for you, my dear. Let me know, Nancy, if I'm taking too long with the reads. I know sometimes, lately I kind of go a little bit on and on. So
Well, no, I mean, you have to do it fully or it doesn't make sense.
since, alrighty, so let me just, Mousy had come in. So hello, Mousy, my dear. Let's see, lovely Nancy. Garnet, I just love Nancy. I do too, Garnet.
Thank
She's
you.
like my mama. I can go to her when I needed someone to talk to. And Karen said, "Wow, I saw 27 on the card. Birthday is 12/27."
Ah,
And wow, I love that. And oh, I love that little tidbit about the reindeer. Yeah, the Ellen of the Tron, Ellen
mhm.
of the Ways. Jackie's still here. Both Jackies. And let's see, Peace Mama. Nancy, I never thought of those who passed as an ally. I was earthbound thinking about who they were, but didn't get they are actually allies, lovingly advocating for and with us. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, because the whole thing about this is that's so precious, Peace Mama, is our ancestors. And mostly, most of the time when we think of our ancestors, we think of our grandmother or our grandpa or our great grandmother, or stories about our great great, whatever, and aunts and uncles that your parents talked about that maybe you didn't know. But there are thousands and thousands of ancestors that we came from, and they all have a vested interest in us. And I mean, and if you think of somebody that lived 1,000 years ago and the type of life they had, and then they're watching you as you live your life, and they want you to do well, and they want to encourage you, and they want you to be your very best potential, because and I mean, I think about that a lot, not wanting to disappoint my ancestors, because they really care. At least, I mean, I feel very strongly about my ancestors.
Mhm. Me too. And I've connected more too with ancestors. I think with since I've been friends with Allison because she, shares that she has an ancestor altar, that she honors her ancestors, and so that inspired me to make sure that my grandma stayed out. My dad's antlers are back there. I have my auntie's crystal, and so when I see those things, I'm reminded of those that loved me and supported me. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, T. Lynn, are you still here? I typed in there she was still here. Um, like I said, we really would like for you to stay in chat for your readings. So, until then, I know Three Shifting Veils is here. So we can pull for Three Shifting Veils. All right, you're going to help me with this one. I don't know if everybody heard him, but that was very loud. That you don't need to interrupt Miss Nancy when she's talking. Yes. Oh,
Gonna
she's
see
here,
those
but
green eyes. Let's see. Now,
yes.
we're gonna do for three
Three
shifting.
Shifting Veils.
Okay.
Okay, T. Lynn, you'll be next then, hon, because I need to make sure that.
Um, I got the first card that I got for you is called Lampads, and it's the card of companionship. And this is what it says: Three Shifting Veils. Look at the action and the the fire and the light in this card, and it is companionship. And this is what it says: torch-bearing nymphs of the underworld, the Lampads accompany Hecate on her nighttime revels. They mark the need to assess friendships or group dynamics when working with others. Lighthearted and joyous, they are easily transformed into fury like beings who can be spiteful and mischievous. Respect and harmony are key in dealing with outside influences. And the second card I got from the Priestess of Light, and when I saw it, look how, I mean, there's only one person in this. There's only one person in this card, but look at the light in both the cards are very similar. And look, this card here, is invocation and new creation. And the affirmation for this card is I open my mind to the pipeline of new ideas available to me now. I know I am capable of both initiative and follow through. And the final card that I got for you, which I thought just was very interesting, is you are the light. And I love that for you because these cards are all about light, and you are the light. So there you go.
Boy, wait till I show you what I got, Nancy.
Ooh.
You're just talking about the light and the fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's gorgeous.
So there's the fire. There's that fiery. Fire consumes everything that it touches. The flames remind us of the impermanent nature of reality and how situations can quickly transform into beauty or chaos. Fire is passion, and its dancing flames invite us to reach to the sky. Warmth and light are heavenly, yet too much heat can scorch us. To fully step into the energy of fire is to be utterly transformed, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. She's got two more, but I'm going to actually, because I think this might be something that you might need to do or you might be contemplating doing. Um, the invitation. Warm your hands and your heart by your inner fire. Let it burn away your hardships. Let it consume your pain and your sorrow. Has life become too rigid, too cold, or too superficial? Light a candle or make a bonfire and toss into the flames everything that has become stiff and painful. Give it all to the fire for rapid transformation. Set your life on fire. So, things that no longer serve you, you can write down, you know, hold it, put that energy in it, releasing it, and throwing it into the fire. This is also about creativity as well. You know, our creative fire, being able to create, tap into that that energy that is like of the wands in the tarot, and allowing the passions, letting your sensuality, your sexuality, letting your desires, whatever it is that fuels you, light that fire. And something interesting, just I also came up with my other deck. I did get the Knight of Cups, and with the Knight of Cups, that's typically in most of my tarot decks. The Knight of Cups is that proverbial search for the Holy Grail. You know, it's typically like a knight coming up to you saying yes. You know, someone that's very, you know, loving. He's kind of like your knight on white knight on yeah, your knight in shining armor, kind of like. But with the Knight of Cups, it's also being very empathic, being very in tune with your emotions, and with the water and the fire, allowing that intuitive, psychic part of yourself, connect with spirit. And when you connect with spirit, with the fire, things are going to be created. You're going to feel that spontaneity, that steam. Because I have two fire signs in water, so I'm steamy. So kind of like, and what does steam do? Steam, empower, power trains, empowers, machinery. So taking that steam, that balance of the psychic and the creative, and bringing those together and creating something beautiful. So yeah, tap into that inner spark, that inner fire of yours. Three veils. Don't be afraid to hide it, to suppress it. Um, let that creativity out. Let that inner power of yourself out. If that makes sense, your sense of self. I keep thinking there's another word I could be using, but I think she got the message. Thank you for answering my question. I grew up since birth on my own in 14 homes. Oh my goodness, Peace Mama.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, you're, just because of what you said there, that your ancestors are,
Mhm.
that's why this all came up. You needed to know that how much they love you.
Oh.
And I truly believe that.
At 62. I'm letting my weirdness out completely.
Oh yeah, you go,
Yeah.
girl. We got to
Hmm.
do that. That's what you learn when you become a crone. You don't care what people think.
And again, another reference to Hecate, the fire, the torch.
Hmm. Yes.
So she's very much present in our energy and our readings today. So
Yeah.
blessings and
Yeah.
honoring to Hecate. So T Lynn is here, so we're going to do T Lynn next.
Okay. Um. Uh. Tielan, the first card I got for you is from the Hecate deck is number 9. It is the Chthona of the Earth, and it's stability. And this is what it says. The very earth itself tears open amidst quake and storm, shaking reality to its core, and yet Hecate stands powerful and firm, towering like an ancient oak. We can tap into these powers of stability and steadfastness, calling upon Hecate for protection and empowerment. It is here where we may face our worst fears or discover our deepest potential. But as in all things, we must prove our mettle in the face of the unknown that lurks beneath. Be sure footed and certain on your path. Now, the second card is a card of obedience. And, this kind of reminds me of the Two of Swords. She's standing on one foot and she's blindfolded, but she she is apparently she is being obedient. Um,
The Justice card too.
yeah, it looks like that too, because see, she's got the scales here and she's got the sword. Um, but the card that I really liked, I got from the Crone deck, and to me, it goes with this card, the first card of stability, and it is the card of Earth. And I love what this says. It says, in an endless cycle, the feminine is ancient and eternal as nature, constantly rebirths herself. Come into the motion of the origin of all things. Come, be rocked and lulled by the mother deep. Remember to nourish her as she nourishes you. So
Wow.
I love that.
We're getting similar cards tonight.
Mm.
Cards that connect. And Allison has to go. Bye, Allison.
Hi,
Have a
Allison.
good show with you in the Mystic Four. I'll try drop in and say hi after. Thanks for being here, sweetie. So T Lynn, I'm going to take your name down so we can see. I got the lower world.
Ooh, well,
And this is a realm that Hecate
mm-hmm.
works in. And some people think the underworld, the lower world, is hell, and it should be. It's not for the lower. Well, in some spiritual practices or dogmas, it is. But in spiritual, you have your lower world, middle world, and upper world, and they all connect. And a lot of times when shamans do their shamanic drumming, they go to the lower world where they meet their guides. We meet our totems. We meet spirit or guides that we need to in our journey. And sometimes it's in those darker, lower places that we find our lessons,
Yeah.
the most important lessons. We find, the strength. We find that that's where everything is born from, and that there is, without the light, there is no dark. There is that balance. And the
Mm-hmm.
essence of this card is the lower world holds the hidden treasures of humanity. It is a place of rich and fruitful darkness where we can find the disowned parts of ourselves and the abandoned aspects of our psyches. The lower world is the place of our ancestors, where we discover the gifts and lessons from the past. It is the realm of the collective unconscious. Here we can meet our demons and transform them into pure energy, our source of personal power. But you don't want that fear. The only thing I wasn't, as I was reading that, when they say demons, you don't want to put the instill the fear, like you're going to see something that's scary and frightening and it's going to not make you want to go and do the spiritual journey. So I don't know if I would have necessarily, it's that perceived, um I guess, but that was kind of a strong word, but it's our inner demons, that we have. Um, and it's not necessarily you're going to see, actual demonic, like negative energies or entities. Um, so it's all about, I mean, that was beautiful. I haven't read this in a while, but I just love how it says is a place of rich and fruitful darkness where we can find the disowned parts of ourselves and the abandoned aspects of our psyches. I love that. And we do that after we get the tower. And this is the tower card in my new deck. And when sometimes things have to be been sometimes buildings have to be burned, things in our past have to be burned. We have to have a destruction, a falling apart to be able to reconstruct and rebuild again. Burning bridges that are necessary. Again, there's the burning too, the fire. You know, putting those intentions of things that you don't want no longer want in your life, and setting them ablaze, giving them to spirit. When you release and you go down into the underworld, and when you come back, then you have all that knowledge and power with you to rebuild that tower that needed to come down. So that's what I have for you, T Lynn. And
It's beautiful.
Sometimes I can't get out faster what I want to say, and then it drives me nuts. So my apologies when it happens when I'm reading. Karen says, haha, I'm starting early on letting my weirdness out at 44. Oh, oh, girl, I started a lot earlier than that. We all get to there at some point. And blessings to you, Peace Mama. You are a strong person. I just love this chat. Everybody's so supportive of each other. That's what I love about our Monday chats. And so we have one reading left, and that is Peace Mama.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of elements tonight in our reads. Have you noticed that? Water, fire, just got winds. Interesting. Earth. Oh, too bad we didn't get earth. We have earth, wind, and fire. Oh.
Okay, I have 3 cards for you, Peace Mama. And the first one from the Hecate deck is number 28. It's the path, and it is called the journey. And let me get to it here. It's number 28. And here is the card. I think this is beautiful. I love it.
Ooh.
Life is a journey, and the path is long and winding. Though we may get lost at times, we must keep moving forward. Through adventure, we draw closer to Hecate. A journey isn't just about the destination, and you're encouraged to experience moments along the way. Even when the path is obscured, treacherous, or challenging, know that Hecate is there with you. Venturing into the unknown, the road may not always be easy or clear, but you are heading in the right direction. And you know, the moon, that shows kind of the unknown, but look at the face in the moon looking down on this person. I think you're muted, Heather.
Yeah, I was shuffling. I didn't want to be
Okay.
but yeah, I didn't see that face. It's pretty.
The second card, I love this for you, Peace Mama. It is, you know, we were talking about your ancestors. And this is the card of strength. And I want you to look at it. This is you, and you're hugging a tree. Look at the face in the tree. I see that as your ancestors, Peace Mama. And this is what the card says. Strength is more than physical power, and it is intellectual and moral force. It is being tough enough to stay the course. Strength is the determination to follow through. Think about the power of water to carve out stone. Consider the sapling's fragile system compared to the deep roots of a big oak. Be strong. And the final card, and I love this for you, because to me, this is the crux of what we've been talking about, is remember who you are. And this is something for you to explore, your inner child, things that you remember, that maybe you've forgotten, maybe some things that you need to revisit, to set some things aside that you no longer need, and to clear away some things that don't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then truly remember who you are, and go forward on that path, and remember that those ancestors are always there, always. And that's what I have for you.
And Peace Mama says that card is my peace place. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And she says, yay, I'm definitely on a journey right now. That's wonderful.
Good, good.
And Floyd says, I'm smiling at that tree.
Yeah.
Oh my God, huge hit. I still visit my giving tree.
Mm.
And we were sitting under our tree at the park today that we love to go to. We always thank it for the shade that it gives us, and
And the thing I like about trees that I find just so magical and so spiritual is how they're all connected.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of these roots that are underground that we don't see, they're intertwined with each other. And if one tree isn't getting enough nourishment, another tree will give some of their nourishment to that tree so that it will survive. And that's a lesson for all of us, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. There are elders,
Yeah.
So Peace Mama, I'm going to start actually with the tarot, the tarot card. I got the 7 of Cups for you. Okay. The 7 of Cups represents illusions, fantasies, and the discernment needed to navigate the powerful pull of desire. The card's imagery depicts a figure gazing at 7 distinct cups floating among the cloud. Each apparition offers a tantalizing mirage of satisfaction, but the effects of fulfilled desire may evaporate quickly, much like the remnants of a dream upon awakening. When this card appears in your reading, it signals the temptation of illusion, distracting desires, and the mirages of the mind.
Mm.
It also serves as a call to harness your intellectual strength and differentiate between real and imaginary possibilities. What will satisfy and fulfill, and what will evaporate like the dream the morning after.
Mm.
And I think sometimes too the 7 of Cups gets a bad rap because it can be about all these different goals and elements and dreams and things that we all have, that we are allowed to have. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to, to fulfill our dreams, our goals, find our passions and fulfill them. But sometimes we get a little distracted and some other ones come and go. And with this card here, it's just really acknowledging that I know you said you were on a journey. And so while you're on this journey, to make sure that, you know, uh, just because something's bright and shiny, maybe like with one of the cups, it's not being distracting. It's like really kind of narrowing down what it is that you want to focus on the most, what resonates, what you think is. I mean, desires are okay to have, but sometimes not everything that glitters is gold, so to speak. And so this is during your journey. This is just a reminder that you have a lot of things on your plate. This could also represent things that you are working on exploring and possibly be releasing. This could be past traumas. It could be things that you might have considered a failure in the past. It might be considered goals moving forward. So just not to get so caught up. And I think the card that goes with it from the shamanic deck is perfect. I did get, let me put this here. I did get the wind card. And so that feeling of being windswept, those
Mm.
cups, your thoughts all going in at once, and just really remembering to just making sure that you're grounded, you're centered. And there's a beautiful little um, ritual in here for under the essence that this is a perfect ending for the show for the last reading because this is something that we can all do, that we can all take. And it says here the symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thought, song, and inspired ideas. Again, the Seven of Cups, the dreams, the ideas, the goals. The wind blows from each of the four directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. South, carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachment, ego, and desires. Again, another reference to the Seven of Cups. North, moving to bring your wisdom and strength, and east, carrying clarity of vision and purpose. Again, another connection with the Seven of Cups. Whichever way the wind is blowing for you, the message which the wind whispers or shouts is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exaltation in moving forward towards it and receiving its lessons. And I think this is like a beautiful, and I think of it as a ritual because we can all go out there and kind of stand and feel like we can even talk to the wind and maybe even ask the wind based on the directions and what was just describing which way is the wind blowing, what do I need, what's I need to focus on the most. And it's a beautiful little ritual to do, you know um, when you're out in nature, and you said you're on a journey right now. And so for me, this is a beautiful way of the wind kind of guiding you on this journey, paying attention to which way the wind blows. Now I got the Bohemian Rhapsody song in my head. Anyway, the wind blows, and it really that is. And so when we start paying attention to that, that helps us discern from the cups, which are desires or fantasies that may not be for our highest good, and be able to figure out which one of those cups is what's for, you know, which will fulfill us and which will nurture us, which nourishes us and continue us on our on
Mm.
your path, to discovery. So that's what I have. I hope a lot of these readings are resonating with everybody. Um,
It's beautiful.
and that was our last reading. We're at 6:19, so that's a good time. I like, you know, not too many because I don't like really rushing readings either for people too. So it's nice when we're able to fit everybody in.
Well, I enjoyed this. I got a lot out of it.
Me too. And
Oh,
we give thanks to Hakate for honoring us with her presence, for
yes.
our show. And, her message, because like I was telling Nancy in the beginning, this could very well be that somebody might come, not be maybe on a spiritual path, that might be in chat or watch us like later on a
Mm-hmm.
replay, and maybe kind of searching for maybe a goddess. Maybe they, someone woke up this morning and said, Spirit, I want to work with the divine feminine, or I would like to work with a new guide. Who can I, connect with? Who would be the best for me? And they may happen to get onto YouTube, see this, oh, what are they, and say, oh, this could be very well who I'm supposed you know, to work with or invite into, my circle of spiritual practice. And Karen says, agreed. They're on the Seven of Cups. It can just show a vivid imagination. And sometimes that vivid imagination is magic, is spirit. It is our creative. And that's one of the things they mentioned in this book with the Ars Decoded, is that they're talking about Joan of Arc. Well, are you hearing voices? Well, don't you think that's just your imagination? Well, where do you think God comes from? It comes from our imagination, our creative thoughts, our connection to our creativity, our higher selves. So, most definitely. And Jackie says, "Thanks, girls. Glad I was awake to watch." Or glad that you were.
Oh,
And Jackie is hopefully maybe one of these times when you are up, and you would love to join Nancy and I. That would be great. We'd
oh,
love
that
to
would
have
be
you on.
wonderful. Yeah.
Um, and let's see. Thanks, ladies. Great shows always. Well, thank you, Karen. Peace, Mama. I'm going to visit my tree and listen to the wind and tree. Thank you so much. Oh, how beautiful.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yes. The trees have so much to share. They really do, including the animals that live there. And it's just, and again, it goes with the underworld as well, because the trees all underground. All people see is the top, and they think that's it. But there is such an amazing amount of life that goes on underground that we don't see. That interconnectedness. So it's there on all levels. I'll stay awake some night. Awesome. Just let us know. Say, hey, I'm going to be up. I'm feeling it. Can I join you and Nancy? Hop on. I'll send you the
You
link.
just pop in anytime.
Yeah. And I can put a link into the chat, and anybody ever wants to join Nancy and I. Someone said you shouldn't do that because a troll's going to pop in no matter what. So it doesn't matter if I put the link in, or as long
Yeah.
as somebody would love to join us, I'll put that link right into chat. So, Miss Nancy, do you have any special collabs coming up this week?
Well, this coming Friday at 2 p.m., I'm going to be on Sun Psychic Jean's channel.
Oh, you are.
Huh? And that's about all, and then next Monday, hanging with Heather again.
Hanging with we were just hanging with Heather.
And y'all need to come on Sunday nights for Heather and Jeff's poetry. I
She
absolutely
writes
love it, but I had
amazing
something
poetry.
going on and I had to leave early, so I have to watch that the replay of that because I really enjoy that show.
And Ramon is an amazing writer. He's an
Yes, he
amazing
is.
poet. I
But
mean,
you
you
and
just
Jeff are too.
yes, but when you sit there and when you listen, for me, I listen to Ramon, it's just like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
this mystical. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's everybody lends their own, exactly, Peace Mama. Just like we're talking, there's a message of interconnectedness. We
Mm-hmm.
all connect. We're all very different with our poetry, our beliefs, but yet we always find something beautiful in each other's poems,
Yeah.
readings, or beliefs. So, um, yeah, and love the poetry. Thank you, Flowing, Miss Carmela. Speaking of Ramon, um, Ramon's going to be my guest tomorrow. It's about a couple of years ago when I first started my channel. I wanted to bring my art into my channel, and there was a book called the Spirit of Color, or the Spiritual in Art by Kandinsky, Wassily Kandinsky. It's one of my favorite artists, and when he painted, he saw he would use color and shapes and forms And he felt that this was all connecting to your intuition, to the spiritual realm. And I loved that idea. And he associated certain like instruments and emotions to colors. And
Mm.
so I wanted to do so I started doing a show called The Spirit of Color, or is it The Colors? No, The Spirit of Color. And Deb H. Purple Elephant, I believe, was my first guest. We did
Oh,
Violet, and Priscilla and Heather from the Crone Zone. They love teal, so we did teal. Um, Motorcycle. Uh, Tangerine. When I was reading with Tangie, she joined me for the color of tangerine because that was her name. So we did that shade of orange. Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. She loves blue, so she and I did cobalt blue. Allie, Heart Soul Connect, and I for Christmas, not last year but the year before, I said let's do gold, silver, and gold for the holidays. And she goes, I love that. So we did silver and gold. And tomorrow, Ramon is going to be joining me, Moon Scarab, for the color red.
oh,
And so, and I always thought that was his favorite color because you see him on his shows and he's got that big, beautiful red mandala behind him.
mm-hmm.
And he's like, actually, no, my favorite color is blue. But he goes, no, he goes, red is a very powerful color.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And so Ramon's going to join me for red on Tuesday. And I I don't think I have anything else scheduled. I might do a color astrology. I'll probably do a little pop up to talk about the new book and to go through the artwork. And then I'll be back Friday with Allison at 8 p.m. And then Sunday again for poetry. And then hanging with Nancy.
Yeah. Time marches
So
on. It's moving so fast.
it is. I can't believe, we're
I mean,
already into
July, almost July. It's crazy.
it
Crazy.
is. So yes, it's always a fun time with Ramon, and he gets so excited and it's like a kid in a candy store when he gets to talking about his divination and everything. And if everybody wants to take a moment, he did post something that was really incredible
Yeah.
today on his channel about spiritual protection and something that he experienced. So I highly recommend going over and taking a listen to what he posted. It's a story
Yeah.
of something that happened
Yeah.
this week. It's amazing. So thank you, Fatima, my dear. Sending love and light. And again, Fatima, happy anniversary, 41
Yeah.
years. How
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. And everybody,
Wonderful.
have a great rest of your evening. And Nancy and I will see you next time.
Bye bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.